Time to go to work. Aren't you glad it's Monday so we got all week to fly right at her? Man, I haven't thought about John for decades. A guy I knew in high school used to say that. Well, it was never true. It's just silly. But it should be true. I just heard the Chris family sing a song on my CD player here. They said the lyrics were, "I'm going to have the time of my life when the time of my life is over. I'm going to get carried away when I get carried away." See, when a Christian goes to heaven, that's better than life here on earth. The Bible says no matter how good we think it's going to be, it's better than that. Because we can't even imagine how good it is. So we look forward to that with excitement. And then we go to work on Monday mornings and dread the whole concept, you know. That's not really particularly appropriate, is it? We should be excited about a whole new week. Glad we get to fly right at her for a whole week here. Every moment of life is precious. Let's cherish it.
I'm gonna have the time of my life when the time of my life is over.
You may be wondering what the purpose of these vlogs is. I don't know. I just bought a camera and started flipping. It's a flip cam. I have no idea. Actually, I guess if I were going to be honest, I would hope that there was something that people could see in another human being who believes in God. That's not a bad thing. I've noticed that the world is mostly full of people who don't believe in God. And the ones who do don't obey Him. It's kind of strange, you know. People are so selfish that they won't obey God. But if they obeyed God, the paradox is that their self would be better off for a lot longer. And the funny thing is, if you don't obey the best thing available, the good God who created you out of pure love and power, you end up obeying something else. I've never met a free person. We're all slaves to something. Even if you own your own backhoe, you'd be a slave to something. Yeah, big old crane up there. Okay, that's nothing. Well, we got to go to work. We can't be standing around looking at the equipment all day. Besides, it's Monday morning. We got all week to fly right at her. Dumbest thing I ever heard come out of a human mouth. Sorry, John. I think the real purpose of these vlogs on YouTube for me is once again just pure selfish. For me, it's kind of fun. I like the idea of just blabbing around and blurting through life all day, even when the camera's on, and then being able to pick out just the good stuff and throw the silly stuff or the dumb stuff away. Just put the cool stuff on YouTube, you know. Some days the cool stuff is just relative and it's all pretty garbagey anyway, but, you know, you go with what you got. You got a YouTube account, that's what you do. It's not that I, you know, have some message for the world. I guess I do, but it's not my message. I'm just passing it along because it passed on to me and worked so well. But really, I just vlog mostly because it's fun. When you have a sense of humor like mine, you just entertain yourself all day very much.
I'm gonna have the time of my life when the time of my life is over. I'm gonna get carried away. When I get carried away.
I just thought of something else that's a good reason to vlog. I never thought of that, but when you talk about good things all day and sing about praising God and the good things that He does for us and stuff like that, why, it makes you happier inside. So, vlogging can be good for you. Look at that. Who'd have thunk? Yeah, I should change the name of my channel to the traffic vlog or something. Look at this mess. Tow truck right here in front of me in case I break down or crash into something. He'd be happy to charge me $500 and drag me off to some lot with a chain or fence link locked up around it. Till I come in there with cash money to get it back. Yeah, heaven's going to be interesting. I wonder what I'll think about all day when I'm not thinking about the junk I mess around with down here in my mind. But that'll be a whole new world for me. I wonder if I could start doing it better now. Acclimate myself better, you know. Just work on that. We're doing a deal at church now off of Kyle Idleman's Not a Fan study. It's really good. God didn't call us to be fans of Jesus. We're to be followers of His, which requires a sacrifice, a commitment, surrender. You ever cough? I've had a tickle in my throat since about 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I have to commute about. I don't compute to work, I commute to work. Probably about 18 miles, 17, 18 miles. For some reason, it's a little longer one way than it is the other. I think that has to do with freeway architecture or something, you know. That's my theory. I have never really tried to figure it out. I just don't care. family in concert, you're missing out. They're good. I had never heard of them before when we saw them the first time. I said, well, I'll go anyway, you know. It was great. Those are good old hymns. You don't hear those very often. Especially on YouTube, huh? You guys don't know what you're missing. Big old pink building. Sometimes I use my flip camera as a weapon. It's my carnal nature. Pray for me. If you pray for me, please. I need it. And look at that tram up there. Floating in the air. Dangling from a wire.
Mercy, there was great and grace was free. Pardon, there was multiplied to me. There my burden soul found liberty. You know, the worst thing about singing, even though I feel like singing that good song, with the camera running, is that my roommate may have to listen to that while I'm editing this evening. And it could ruin his whole mood. He's probably had a hard day at work. I'm sorry about that. Mercy, there was great and grace was free. Pardon. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop singing.
Yeah, time I get done editing some of these videos I make, they end up being pretty short. You're limited to 15 minutes on YouTube anyway, unless you're making a whole bunch of money for YouTube or something, I guess. I don't know how that works. Doesn't affect me. Too much of a Christian to ever make money on YouTube. Yeah, I like how light it is out here. It's almost 4:50-10. Still light out. Light enough to vlog, I think. Can you see me? Alright, we're home. Let's get the mail. Look at that. And all this stuff. There's a check for me. And a bill. Life's all about breaking even.